Hi guys, welcome back to the channel again. Thanks for tuning in, and here I have something very interesting that I wanted to share with you, and this would be this brand spanking new Galaxy Watch Ultra that I just got today in the mail. I did one of the first pre-orders in the first several days, and they got it to me pretty quickly. So I'm trying to make this review of this unboxing and sharing my first impressions about this watch. I'm hoping that it's gonna follow up on its hype. It looks pretty much very different from what we have seen so far, and let's go ahead. So the package actually came with this is the box on the watch, and it came with the extra band that Samsung was offering. Additionally, is a free gift, and this is some kind of a trail band. It kind of looks that it has that velcro type of a nylon band. That's what it is. I don't think I'm gonna open this yet. I don't see any point of it. I've never liked those. So put aside, this was the only thing that they offered as a gift, so we really had no choice, the buyers, to order something else. So as you can see, actually the box is pretty big compared to the last year's box on the Watch 6, the classic Watch 6, which was the biggest one I got. It was pretty much half the size of this, if not even less. So this is pretty big. It's pretty interesting. Kind of excited, obviously. So let's go and open this box. I already took care of the stickers, and I'm gonna try to open this right now. And again, Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra. I saw a lot of rumors about Samsung, and I couldn't figure out why they named this watch this name specifically. I know that we have the phones, the Ultra series, phones, but it's kind of getting weird because a lot of people are blaming Samsung for copying actually Apple. I didn't want to really say it, but it's just too much stuff that's kind of inching up closer and closer to, again, to kind of copying Apple anyway. So here's the box inside, what's inside. So we have two boxes. Again, I have not opened this. This is the first time I'm opening this. And this second box that's underneath that would be the actual band that I purchased the watch with. I bought the orange, of course, and I chose the one of the, I think it was the darker titanium model that has the actual orange lines here that point to the hour markings, and they're orange, so like it's orange match with the same color. I wanted to match it with the orange sea, whatever this ocean band is what they call it, something like that, ocean something sea. So these two, and of course let's go ahead and open the band, and let's see what's going on here. Okay, so it's on this side, so it's literally what you see in the picture is what you open. This is the band. Okay, set this aside. First feel, pretty solid, rubberish band, pretty cool. Soft to the feel, not plasticky. Very looks kind of rigid, kind of. It does kind of looks a little bit different from what I thought that I would see, because these actual tunnels here are not all the way through. These tunnels actually are very short. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, you see these tunnels actually are not even maybe 2 or 3 millimeters deep, and then they stop. I thought these are supposed to run through the whole band, but they don't. So orange band, clasp. On the clasp it says titanium actually. That's interesting. Samsung. So we got some titanium things here going on. And what does it say here? It says SML, whatever this means. And it's the same on this side, SML. So very first thing that I see here is this crazy looking mechanism to lock this. I have the Galaxy 6 Classic, and they have like a button, if I remember. Yeah, but here there's nothing going on here. This is just like a metal with 2 teeth on the sides. So it'll be interesting for me to see what's going on here. So the light is actually kind of making these a little bit yellowish, but they're actually orange. Okay, and what are we going to do next? Okay, next is we're going to open this watch, actually the box of this watch, so we can get it out and check this baby out. And here we go. I just opened the stickers on the box. On the top and bottom, there's nothing in the back, it's just a clean white box. And first I'm opening this, voila. And what do we have here? We have the watch right in the middle of everything with this secondary box. I'm gonna assume this would be okay, this doesn't want to come out. Here we go. This would be there should be the manual here of the watch and the charger. Let me see this over on the side. Obviously this would be the watch here, so let's turn the light on. And first expressions, it does look interesting, I will admit. Compared to my previous watch, I have this is the Classic 6 watch, and you can see the actual obvious difference. Completely different design. But from what I can see, the center bezel, the circle bezel, should be the same because they're about 47 millimeters width. So let's get this baby out. There's nothing else here in this box but the watch. And and this is the actual jewel, and this is what this looks like. I have to admit that this looks much more complicated than the previous watches, so I would say this is the most complicated watch I've ever seen. First thing is, you can see there's a completely different way, mechanism, a way to actually install the band with these slots here, and obviously you have the lock button here, square, you can see, and circle in the middle. The first obvious thing, of course, I like the orange dials, the orange lines. Obviously, next thing is the orange surrounding of the center button and this upper button. And it does look a little bit weird. I want to say not your typical watch. It always reminds me of there's a couple Swiss companies, expensive companies, that have these style of watches. I'm not gonna say their names. You can guys compare them or find them online, but obviously this looks very interesting, much more solid. I would say that this is actually very heavy too. This watch obviously will have this markings because it has the LTE capability, electronic SIM built in, and it's just a crazy system. And what is this tag? So let me see if I can remove this tag. Come on. Here we go. We removed the tag and we exposed, well, a little bit of the sticker. I'll clean it in a second. Actually, let me clean it now. And here we have exposed the huge sensors there on the bottom. Obviously, this watch has much more capabilities than the older watches and the previous model, and this is due to the fact that they've added more sensors. Samsung has added more sensors. Let me see if we can read anything here. Can we read anything? No, not really. Well, we have the IMEI number, and then what is this stuff here? Sapphire crystal LT, blah blah blah. The model of the watch. Yeah, that's what I'm reading. Sapphire crystal LT, GPS, and 47mm. That's what we're reading. It's not really visible, but yeah, I have to put it at this angle to actually be able to read it. 10 atmospheres, or this is 100 meters depth, but it's got its own condition. That's the water resistance on this watch. It's actually pretty good for this kind of a watch. So as you can see, very interesting design. I don't really know whether I like it or not yet, to be honest with you. I know it seems to be more rugged than normal watches, and obviously people, if you guys expect this to be more gentle or like closer to the classic watches, well, this is not. So let's try to install this clasp or the band here. So I'm gonna try to push it. Okay, here we go. We just need to push it in and it clicks. You heard the click. So this is the titanium holder, and okay, so I see something here. This is made actually to snap in one of those ridges. This is not very easily removable, so it's made to stop here. You see, it's actually locks between the different stages or the different ridges. And let's install the bottom side. So I'm just gonna push it in until it clicks. here we go. And this is the watch, and this is how it looks, and this is what it looks like. Again, this is the 6 Classic, this is the Ultra. I'm sure it's a little bit thicker, you can see right away, but completely different designs, and I'm not sure, you know, whether this Ultra watch would be to the liking of everyone. But just keep in mind, you know, when you see this watch, or when you're buying it, or before you buy it, hopefully I can give you some kind of guidance here. I believe this is advertised as a rugged watch, and it won't, you know, it just doesn't look like your normal other classical watches or the previous cheaper versions of Samsung watches. So it does look very, very interesting. I think I like it at this point, even though it's a little weird with this square shape, but it's still very interesting. Let me see what this would look like on my hand. Here, I will tell you one thing though, right away. I can feel that the band is very, very comfortable. It's almost silicone borderline rubber, and this is the clasp here that you walk in. So it's very, very, I believe that I would say this is a very smart move that they did, so that this actually locks in, so it doesn't move like some other watches that I've had before. Obviously very good detail. I love this. And to this watch, to be honest with you, I think it looks better on my hand than, you know, holding it on the table. Yeah, I'm actually kind of like, I'm literally changing my mind now. And this is what the Classical looks next to it. I don't know, it's just a different design, guys. This is just more classical, very slim band, not as rugged. Obviously, that's a huge difference. Remember, the 6 last year has the bezel that moves, the physical moving bezel. The Ultra does not have this anymore. I'm guessing they did it because they wanted to make it more durable and to be able to actually offer us more water resistance. So this is what it looks like. It's pretty, it's solid on the hand. I feel it very nicely. If I twist, it doesn't really rub or anything. So I think the square shape is actually a pretty good design as far as the wrists. So yeah, I like it the way it feels on the hand. So definitely props up for this. And of course, the most important thing is I'm gonna need to start this thing up, but let's see what we have here in this box. The last box that came on the top. It's got to be the manual with the charging station. I believe it should be a different station compared to the last year's or to the previous models, but I cannot really tell whether it's different or not. This looks very, very similar to the one I have from last year. This is what I have from last year on the right. I mean, this is kind of identical, to be honest with you. Okay, this is literally identical. Well, I thought we had some information back here that I can compare. Man, Samsung did not really give us any guidance at this point. But I would say these two, so this is the old one and this is the new one, I would say that they look just pretty much exactly the same. They are magnetic. The color is different. Okay, the new one is black, this one is more grayish. USB connector. So there may be a little difference here on the bottom. I see a little bit. Yeah, I can see a little difference here. This is deeper. The centerpiece is deeper, more round, where this one is not as deep. So that's the main difference that I see from last year. Actually, you could probably see from the shade. You see how the right one is, it fills the light immediately, where the left one, you see the light goes around because it's a deeper sphere, where this one barely has a sphere. So I would say that you could, guys, check the old style if you have those, and see if they work. Obviously, if you don't want to, you can always use the new style, or whatever it came with this watch. And there is nothing here. No manual. Okay, well, sorry guys. That's all we get. We just got this charger. Let's go ahead and see how this will start. And obviously, this is just first impressions video of what I'm getting here today. Possibly, I gave you a few comparisons with the Classic 6 from last year. And this should be enough for you to guys probably make a decision of whether you like this watch or not. Again, if you want me to add anything, just let me know in the comments anyway. But this is what the watch looks like underneath. Again, I believe this is a speaker zone here, a button. So let's see how this is going to start. Actually, I don't know which button it is. Let me just give it a try. I'm gonna start with the top one, possibly. Okay, here we go. Let's start it with a top button. And Samsung Galaxy, secured by Knox, obviously, and this should be the Google Wear system, I believe, just like it's the other watches. Okay, we got some funky animation, just what we had before. Galaxy Watch Ultra. You see a button on your phone, help you connect. If you don't see, try connecting. Okay, so obviously this is asking me to connect to the watch. So this would be the normal way to connect this and start this watch. Let me try to connect it and I will be back in a second. So guys, I just finished setting this up, this watch. It's one there. I saw a few things that were very interesting. I don't believe I saw those options on the previous the Galaxy 6 Classic that I set up last year. So there was a very interesting option where you can actually set up this watch to be, obviously I'm a left-handed, but you can actually spin this watch the way it was manufactured. You can spin it around like this and you can actually use it on a right-handed person, so it'll be very easy to set up. Obviously you need to switch the bands. Believe Samsung made a good choice by doing this. And there was an interesting function where you can actually double pinch your fingers while you watch this, while you wear this watch. This function will answer phone calls. It will take a camera shot. I guess if you watch this far away, like if you're trying to make a selfie, you can use this double pinch to take a selfie photo instead of maybe using your pen. I remember this used to be a function of the pen before, but now you can do it with this watch. Also, there's a emergency setup on this watch where it will detect a heart fall, so it will alert I guess 911, I believe. And there's another function where if you hold this button, the center button, or quick button is what they call it, what Samsung calls it. If you hold it for more than 5 seconds, it will trigger an alarm, a siren. So guys, as I mentioned previously, this watch has a crazy feature called like an emergency alarm or siren, I would say. And this is a function that I tried a few times, and I believe it's going to be very helpful for some people. It's in case of a emergency, I guess, if something happens to you. Maybe if you're in a wooded area, somewhere, maybe on a trail in the woods or up in the mountain, and there's people somewhere around that they can hear you, or in case of a, God forbid, some kind of an attack. But the way you activate this is you hold this quick buttons, what is called by Samsung. So you hold this button until it activates the siren. It has to be held more than 5 seconds. And now it's gonna count. It's actually vibrating. It's releasing a little sound, but it's gonna sound really loud. As you can see, you can actually press emergency SOS and dial 911. And this is actually, these two slots is where I can hear the sound coming from, and it is very loud. So very interesting function that other Samsung watches do not have, and I just wanted to show you. It was like, I was very surprised with this function. Take a tour of your watch. So let's see this thing. Swipe down, top on, quick panel. Obviously this is the same functions as the Galaxy watches. Swipe up to go back to the watch face. Okay, finding your apps would be for up, swipe up from the bottom edge, obviously here. Swipe down to go back to the watch face. So checking notifications. For notifications, swipe right from the left and tap to open tips, notifications. Okay, swipe right from the edge to go to the previous screen. Swipe left to go back to the watch face. About tiles. Swipe left for tiles, which show useful info about apps. Press the home key to go to the watch face from any screen. So this would be your home button. And that's it. Your watch is ready to use. The orange indicates new notifications. Okay, orange dot. I don't know what that means. I would say this would be something, a dot on the screen. Okay, turn on flashlight. So it actually asked me to set up a shortcut for this button when I was setting up the watch. So it's telling me. So this is actually a flashlight shortcut. That's what you set up when you press this button once. So we can change the brightness by spinning around. This is the function that now this watch has. Compared to the previous watches, because I had the 5 also, the bezel was not as good, as well made as this thing. This is a very huge bezel, so it's much easier to do this function here. And actually, as you can see, the light is changing, and I feel a vibration on my fingers too, so you have a haptic feedback. So let's go back to the normal screen. Orange dot indicates, okay, orange dot. Oh, the orange dot is on the left side. Sorry guys, I didn't see this. Okay, that's fine. Tips, whatever. Anyway, Home button, I would say this is probably a back button on the bottom. And okay, so here we go. This is the actual app, or the apps, and obviously we're gonna need to set, or I'm gonna need to set these up later in time. And then I could probably come back later in time and make another video, maybe in a month, of how I feel, what I feel about the watch now, or like in a month, and you know, whether it's it, you know, what would be my experiences at that point, actually, so I could share more stuff. One interesting thing, this watch face, as you can see, the outside has a compass. And where did it go? It disappeared. Oh, it kind of goes to sleep. Okay, so now if I move, you can see the north is moving. That's very interesting. I have not seen this face yet. I guess this must be it must be one of the faces that came on this watch. So that's an obvious function for a rugged outdoor watch, to have the compass at all times. So this is what I was trying. This is what I have been trying to tell you guys, that this watch is, you know, it's made for a completely different purpose. It's not like the actual classic that I have from last year, where this watch is, it is a smartwatch, as you can see, but it's just, obviously there's a huge difference between this watch and this this new ultra watch. So I mean, pretty much I would say that probably the apps are all the same, but I would have to test more to share more with you guys. This is what the watch looks like up close. You can see the screen and the crazy sensors underneath. And the other thing is I can show you the new what this new watch does actually from the Samsung website, just so I can add some of the things that I couldn't remember all of them, obviously. But new Galaxy Watch Ultra, it's not the Watch 7, this is the Galaxy Watch Ultra. That's what this is called, and I got it on a pretty good deal in the beginning. It was a very good, fair value. I would say it's a very good trade-in value, and I bought mine. I think I got this new one for about around $200, $220 maybe, or something in that range. So this is the watch here. Those are some of the functions. Obviously this new watch has a bigger battery. It's like about 600 milliamperes, I believe it was. So this is, I think this is a battery that they used to have on a different watch, but because of the new hardware with the new processor and the new hardware inside, they're using this big battery from a previous watch, like several generations previous watch. But now this battery is serving them better because they have new hardware that actually works better and saves more energy. So rugged, reliable, ready for anything. Obviously, durability, sapphire crystal. That's very important because sapphire crystal usually is installed on expensive watches. It's a very hard resistant glass or crystal, and it will help you to save this watch from scratching it. Obviously, you hit a rock or something crazy, it may not be able to save you, but I have own watches that have these sapphire crystals, and they're amazing. Titanium plus cushion design. I think it's the inside of this. The inside of the case, our most powerful smartwatch processor, as I was saying before. So quick button, you have bioactive sensor. Okay, that's the new sensors they're using on the bottom. Dual frequency GPS, that's very good. Dynamic look system, so that's on the sides, I guess, those clickers on the sides, on the band. And our longest lasting watch battery, obviously, and you got power saving mode of 100 up to 100 hours, and then exercise power saving mode up to 48 hours. They have multiple options of how you can set up this watch as far as the battery consumption, so it will be up to you guys to what actually you guys want to do. And let me zoom a little bit out. Okay, should be okay. So bands for anything, obviously I got the orange. Marine is what this is called. Yeah, I thought it was something C. And then you have the gray, green, white. I like the orange, and I like the orange bezel. That's why I picked this band, and obviously it screams of a very interesting watch. You know, it doesn't look like just like a normal watch. And the trail ones are the Velcro, or that that plasticky kind of a nylon band. I don't like those at all. And then you have peak form, so that would be a rubber band, but it would be a thinner kind of rubber band for more kind of a different sports. I would say not as rugged, obviously, as the Marine one. And conquer new heights. Here we go. That is the new crazy thing with this watch. It's the temperature, operational temperatures -4 Fahrenheit to 131, and altitude resistance 30,000 feet. That's crazy. Frozen mountain to the I wouldn't say -4 Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's I think it was about -5 Celsius, something in that range. I wouldn't say that's a frozen mountain, but okay, I guess I'll give him a little bit of a freedom to use that term. 131, it's pretty hot though. Yeah, that's close to about 30, I think it's about 38 to 40 Celsius, so that's pretty high. I would assume that this watch will get affected in the heat. Lightweight and breathable trail band, that's the nylon one. So this band actually has a different clasp, a completely different clasp, obviously. I've never liked those, but I guess maybe some people will like him. It has an interesting design with these cylinders. I didn't see that, but that's the orange one. And some of the sensors, obviously, a race program, GPS navigation, heart rate zones. This watch has completely the whole sensor, the bioactive sensor at the bottom is completely different, and they have more functions now. Bright display, night mode, blah blah blah. And okay, visible bright daylight, low light display, automatic switches to night mode that keeps info clear while staying easy on the eyes. So that's very nice. Automatic function to go in a dark mode, in this case red, so it doesn't blind you right away. Different workouts, obviously. Again, water resistance 10 atmospheres, IP68, that's 100 meters, but there's a limitation to this. Military standard grading, versatile, comfortable peak form band, so that's the smaller band. It's still not bad, actually. It looks very, very good. It looks very well made. Yeah. And Galaxy AI, obviously artificial intelligence, with a bunch of the sensors combined, power up cycling. You understand your body better, your ultimate tracking team, Samsung heart monitor, and sleep coach. I actually got the previous Classic 6 because of the sleep coaching, and I have been extremely satisfied with what these watches have done so far. This actually, the Ultra, is supposed to be one step forward where it can actually detect apnea. So I definitely will be using this more, and I definitely love these newer functions. Perfect sync with different apps. It's time to find your watch. Well, this is obviously the commercial, but it's interesting because this is very good. This is a very good presentation of the three watches here, and you can see the Ultra Galaxy 7. That's the one that came out with this watch, with the Ultra, but that's a smaller version. It's 40 and 44 millimeters, and where the Watch Classics, the Watch 6 Classic is the one I have, is the one also I have in 47 millimeter, and it's in black. And I pretty much almost matched, I think, the colors, even though it's a little bit lighter on the color of the titanium gray is what it's called. But you can see here materials of the band, or the actual casing: titanium sapphire crystal, armor aluminum sapphire crystal, stainless steel sapphire crystal. So that's the huge difference between 6 Classic and Ultra. Durability, yes, completely different between these two and the last one. And that is the battery that I was talking about, 590 milliamperes, almost 600, where these two previous watches, or the 7's simple, it has the smaller battery that actually came from the Classic 6. And the processor is, this one is different obviously on these two new ones, and on the old one is 5 nanometers processor. Okay, 32 storage, obviously huge difference, 32 gigs versus 16. GPS is different obviously, L1 plus L5 dual frequency. That's only L1 on the 6, and we have Bluetooth and LTE, and we have Bluetooth LTE on this one, where you can just buy one just with Bluetooth and Bluetooth LTE on the Classic 6. On the new one, they skipped only the Bluetooth version. I kind of didn't like this because it made the watch more expensive, but it is what it is. And you can buy the different other products obviously with the Galaxy Fold 6, and that's pretty much the functions and the actual additional description details of this watch. You can guys obviously go to the website to research more, but this is what this presentation is pretty much about. I just wanted to show you the unboxing of this watch and what it actually looks like, and my first impressions are very positive, and I would say I will obviously I need to trade in my Galaxy 6. That's how I got it, so I need to send this one back. So I have a couple weeks before I do that, and I'm definitely gonna try the two of them. But as you can see, they kind of start as similar watches, but actually are completely different watches. Technology wise, obviously this is a new watch with much better technology, so much bigger battery. So I would say this would be a very positive thing. It will help people to make the choice to switch to this new watch. I believe it's worth the money to do that, and it's just a different model, something completely different from the Classic 6. And one last time, this is what this looks like. I will say that if you compare this to the Apple Watch, they have an Apple Watch that came out. I was checking this out because I have friends that always argue with me as far as Apple copying Samsung, then Samsung copying Apple, which one is the best, which one is better, this and that. I have to admit that there's it's not the same obviously as the Apple Watch, but using the square shape kind of almost points to the Apple design. And this band actually, there's a very similar band that Apple Watch uses, and they actually even use the same color. So I'm not saying that Apple is better than this. Obviously, I have been using Samsung for many years since the Note 1. I will never switch to an Apple phone or a watch for extremely high amount of reasons. Samsung, I believe, is the predominant user system and user interface, and it will be, at least for now, if they keep on developing newer products. I just wish that they developed a little bit different design than trying to almost kind of copy and mimic the Apple Watch. So you can compare them, but obviously different technologies, different watches. So very positive things. I like this watch from this, at this point. I just opened it again. I will charge it up and try to use it, and I will, hopefully I don't forget, but I will try to get back to you maybe in a month and, show you some things, or maybe positive and negative things, and maybe share some experiences of what has happened in a month. Don't forget, when you get this watch, the lithium-ion batteries, you have to charge, and it takes a couple months for the batteries to break in to actually get the maximum power of those batteries. So don't be thinking that you charge this watch for a couple weeks and the battery goes down fast. That would be that is the real actually lifespan of the battery. That won't be. You have to wait for about a month to 2 months to break in the battery. So this is the watch, Galaxy Watch Ultra. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video, possibly to make a choice of whether you would want to buy this watch or not. My experience is very positive at this point, and stay tuned for the next video, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Please hit those like and subscribe buttons, because your support from you guys helps me to run this channel so I can make more honest reviews of products that I have gotten. I'm not getting paid by any company. I bought this watch for personal usage, so please support my channel so I can make more videos. Again, thanks very much. See you in the next one. Thank you.